This is The Struggle with Kit Mann.
Hi there. Hey, how's it going? My name is Kit Mann. This is The Struggle. And this is day 3, almost all the way through day 3 now, of a 4-day fast. And if you've been watching the previous episodes and you've kind of followed along with the science on what happens to your body during a fast of any length, you know that today was supposed to be the easier day. Once you hit day 3, that's kind of supposed to be that I'm getting through this. You know, I'm a little bit better shape than I was yesterday, and I will say that's true. A lot of clarity, a lot more focused. Yesterday, if you watch yesterday's episode, I couldn't do math to save my life. I kept telling you what all the wrong hour I was in and how many hours I'd go. It was ridiculous. I watched it again this morning, and I just thought to myself, you idiot. But I had no choice in the matter. My brain was simply not functioning yesterday. And today, much clearer, much more focused, as I said, on small detail and things like that. My memory is better. My wife even said she believes her eyesight is a little better. I don't know. I get, you read all this anecdotal stuff of people talking about how everything improves when you start fasting. Now, the first few days are pretty difficult, but the benefits outweigh. And, make sure here's your disclaimer, talk to your doctor before you start a fast. Don't start a fast because Kit said it was good for you. Talk to your doctor first, even though it is good for you. Talk to your doctor. Everybody's first question when you tell them that you're starting a fast is, are you trying to lose weight? Why are you trying to lose weight? Everybody's question. What, is it a weight thing? And then their question after you've been struggling for 3 days becomes, how much weight have you lost? So I'll just tell you, because I know you're probably wondering. So far, I weighed this morning when I woke up, so that would have been after 2 days and 6 hours. I was down 7.5 pounds after 2 days and 6 hours. 7.5 pounds. Now, we all know that's water weight and bloat, but my stomach doesn't feel as bloaty anymore. I feel physically, I feel a lot better. I did have, full disclosure, I did have some nausea and heartburn today. But, when I do some research, I discovered that can happen. It wasn't anything I couldn't deal with or overcome. It was not a big deal, but, for a moment, I was like, should I just eat something? Because basically, if you get to the point in day 3, if you do develop any nausea or heartburn or anything like that, your two choices are push through it, suck it up, buttercup, or go ahead and break your fast and eat. And my wife said, why don't, if you really are feeling bad, just have a handful of nuts. Well, but then the fast is broken. And if I want to break the fast, I'm going to break it. I want to eat a meal. I don't want to break it with a handful of nuts or, a cup of coffee with cream and sugar in it. It's like I want to make it worth it. So today we're going to talk about, there's not a lot to talk about as far as the science goes, because once you get to the middle part of day 3, really the only science-y part of it is the help with, you're in just total ketosis city. And ketosis means you're in total fat burn mode. You're just cooking fat. I don't feel as hungry today. A lot more energetic than I was. But we have reached ketosis, and ketosis is the critical phase of the fast where your body starts to burn that fat, and that's where we're sitting right now. So a few things I want to talk about that I've written in my my fasting diary. Before we get to that, let me remind you that if you're watching it on YouTube right now, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Make sure you like and subscribe on YouTube. Also, don't forget to join us on fitbodyspace.com. Fitbodyspace.com is like a social network that is specifically dedicated to diet, exercise, fitness, weight loss, etc., etc. Fitbodyspace.com. It's free. Just go there, and there's no ads or anything like that. It's really cool. So go check it out and say hi to everybody that's on there right now. We're just getting it started. We don't have a giant amount of people on there right now, but there's plenty of people to talk with and correspond with. Fitbodyspace.com. You could post links. You could post before and after pictures. You could post during pictures. You can post memes. You can do whatever you want. It's just like having Twitter, except it's only dedicated to fitness, exercise, weight loss, and all of that stuff. If you would like to listen to the audio version only, we are available on Apple, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, Spotify, Deezer, Podcast, Podchaser, and all those. We will be on Google Podcasts most likely by the middle of next week, my time, depending on when you're listening to this. So go ahead and check and see if we're on Google Podcasts. It just, as of recording, they have not populated our podcast there yet. And TuneIn. Now, the cool thing about TuneIn is you'll be able to use it with your Alexa, which you can also use it on Amazon Music. So you can just ask Alexa to play The Struggle with Kit Mann. So here we are, day 3. Let me tell you a couple of things. Let's go down the clock and just tell you what it was like. First of all, we stopped last night. Before we got into the evening, we had already finished recording. So yesterday, if you recall, I was incredibly hungry. Last night, I had to feed the dog at 6 o'clock, and I got jealous of the dog. Oh, you get to eat, don't you, you little... Went to bed about 9, which was right at the 48-hour mark of being on the fast. Got up this morning. Like I said, I had a little heartburn at about 4 o'clock in the morning when I woke up. 9 a.m. was the 60-hour mark. And from 9 a.m. on, I have felt really pretty good. Just remember, after you get to that 48-hour point, your cellular cleansing is in overdrive. So if you're not doing it just for weight loss and not just to get into ketosis, if you're doing it to work on those zombie cells and kill those things, that 48-hour mark, man, once you get past that, you are killing zombie cells. Your cellular cleansing is pushed to the limit, and it's going hard right now. So when I hit noon today, that would have been 63 hours. And when you hit that point, you're not hungry anymore. And we've already talked about this a little bit, but we'll talk about it again. You get to that feeling where you have the realization that so much of your eating in real life is done because of boredom. Because you're just bored, so you reach for whatever. Bag of chips, couple of cookies, even if it's healthy stuff, moderately healthy stuff. Couple of sticks of beef jerky. Beef jerky is like the secret of the modeling industry. Did you know that? All models eat beef jerky. I don't know why. Yes, I do. It's lean protein, it's salty, and it's not high calories. So you you start to learn stuff about yourself on a fast. You learn, like I said, that most of your food comes from boredom. You're not really hungry. You're cravey. She's so cravey. Another thing you realize is how much the other kinds of fasts would be so easy. Before you do a big fast like this, a 3, 4, 5, 6 day fast, whatever it is, you're kind of scared to do any other kind of fast, like a juice fast. I couldn't just drink juice. Let me tell you something, pumpkin. When you get to 60, 65 hours and you've conquered this, a juice fast would be a walk in the fucking park. It would be so easy. And so we may do one at some point. And we'll tell you all about a juice fast. But it would be so easy compared to this. So it puts things into perspective. It also makes you realize that you're not as addicted as you think you are to crappy food. Because when you get to this point, this 60-hour mark, after 48 hours, really, you don't really start thinking, I would love a bag of chips. You start thinking, man, I'd like to eat an apple. You start thinking, yeah, I think a salad would be really good right now. You don't go for that, I need a Snickers bar. You go for the, hey, how about a pear? You know, it's pretty cool when you get to that point. You just realize that simple food, simple 1-ingredient meals or 2-ingredient meals or whatever, simple food can be just as satisfying as a bag of Doritos. Even more so. So again, sorry yesterday for the bad math in that particular episode, but we're cruising right along. And tomorrow will be the last day. We haven't decided if we're going to go all the way until the evening and get to 90 hours, or are we going to, shut it down at 76 hours. We're not sure where we're going to land on that yet. Some point tomorrow we will break the fast. And we were planning on what are we going to eat. So when you're in your day 3, another thing that you really need to start doing is planning. You want to start planning what your break fast, your coming off your fast meal is going to be. You're not going to want to break it with a big bacon cheeseburger and 3 beers. That will upset your stomach to the point where it will be bad. So you need to start planning. You don't want to just go, the fast is over. What do you want to eat? I don't know. Here's a bag of pork rinds. That's not what you want to do, okay? You want to make sure that you have a plan that you know is going to be healthy and decent for you. Another thing you want to plan at about this point in the fast is, what is your life going to be like? Because look, let's say you are doing a fast for weight loss, okay? I've lost 7.5 pounds in 2 days. When I wake up tomorrow morning, I fully expect that I will have lost at least 10 pounds during this 3 days. So obviously, even though I'm not doing it totally for weight loss, I'm doing it to kill the zombie cells. I'm doing it for my energy levels and the inflammation and all the other things we've talked about. I don't want to put that 10 pounds right back on, because that's going to be bloat and water weight and gas and whatever else disgusting stuff in my guts. So you need to start planning, what is life going to be like for you when you come off the fast, long term? Are you going to fast more often? Are you going to work fasting into your life? I would suggest that you begin to make a plan to jump to intermediate fasting. If you don't know what intermediate fasting is, intermittent fasting. If you don't know what that is, Google it up. But basically it means you can do like a 18 and 6. That means you don't eat for 18 hours, but you have a 6-hour window of where you can eat. And then you stop again and you don't eat again for 18 hours. So let's say you finish dinner at 6 o'clock at night. You wouldn't eat again until noon the next day. Then you would have that 6-hour window from noon to 6 to get your meals. You want to keep the calories low. You want to be cool about it. It's not like, it doesn't mean go sit at Buffalo Wild Wings for 6 hours. Oh, that sounds good. B-dubs. I wish I could break the fast with B-dubs. That's probably not the smart thing to do. We will probably segue into a 20 and 4 fast, which will be fasting for 20 hours, eating in a 4-hour window. That 4-hour window is going to be from 2 in the afternoon until 6 in the evening. Now, if you are on a program like I've done them all, I've experimented with them all because I want to learn about them all. But if you're on something like Noom, they're going to discourage you from doing intermittent fasting. If you're on Weight Watchers, intermittent fasting works out pretty good. If you're on the South Beach diet, intermittent fasting's perfect. Maybe you're on keto. I don't know all the rules to keto. That's going to be one of the things we're going to explore here on the podcast. We may even explore that one in the near future. We're planning our new episodes after the fast is over. Look, this was supposed to be a one-off. Like I was going to do 4 days of what happens while you fast. But as we started talking about it and thinking about it and realizing we could incorporate the fitbodyspace.com into it, we said, well, why not just keep this thing going? Because people struggle with all kinds of stuff, not just fasting. So we're going to test out various diets, various exercise plans, all kinds of stuff. We'll have experts on as guests. It's going to be good. So we're going to go to a 20 and 4. And then most likely, though not 100%, most likely we're going to incorporate a 48-hour fast into our regular lifestyle once per month. At least once a month, we'll do a 48-hour fast to kind of do a reset on whatever has happened throughout the month. Now, what I want to remind you of is while you're watching on YouTube, please go right now and subscribe at the bottom. You know where it is. It's right down here, right there. Is that where it is? Or is it over here? Is it on this side or this side? It doesn't matter. It's over here, right? Subscribe. Do it. All right. One thing I will tell you about day 2 and 3. Exercise was no bueno. I have plenty of energy to get around through the day. I feel good, other than the heartburn and the little bit of nausea that I had briefly. But I tried to exercise today, and I just didn't have the energy to do it. Now, that was about 4 hours ago. Right now, I kind of feel like I could. Like I was going to go out and hit the heavy bag, and I kind of feel like I could go do that right now. Just like pop, pop, pop. That kind of sounds fun to me. But earlier, I couldn't do it. The exercise was definitely a no-go. Oh, another thing that you need to start planning for. And I wanted to make sure and talk about this today because this was brought up from a blog that I read from a Japanese guy. I think he's in Kyoto, maybe. I'm not exactly sure. But he was talking about coming off of a fast. And he said, and I found this really, really not just interesting, but a super cool idea and a great point. He said, think of it this way. If you've done a 3-day or a 4-day fast, you have just gone cold turkey on everything. So decide if there's something you want out of your life. Maybe you've been struggling with too much sugar. Well, you just went cold turkey on sugar for 3 days. So now's the time to exit, ghost it, get rid of it. Now's the time. Alcohol. Maybe you've been struggling trying to stop drinking. You get through a fast, you just cold turkeyed the alcohol. Don't go back. If that's been your struggle and you've been trying to quit, use this as an opportunity to stop drinking. For me, a lot of people are going to say dairy, sugar, dairy, processed food, alcohol. For me, it's going to be bread. My downfall is bread. So I need to cut the bread out. I've been cold turkey on the bread for 3 days. I know I don't need it. I know I don't want it. Get rid of it. We joked the other day about sandwiches and beer. Get rid of the bread. I'll just eat the inside parts of the sandwich. The guts. I'm lucky to live in a place where it is not abnormal. Every restaurant has vegetarian or vegan options. Maybe you've been trying to quit eating meat. Now's your time. Now's your chance. I live in a place where every restaurant has vegetarian or vegan options, and it is not even remotely unusual at any restaurant I go to in town for me to order, or anyone to order, a bacon cheeseburger without the bun. They don't look at you funny. They don't care. They as long as you're paying the same price, whatever. Don't eat the bread. Who cares? So that's going to be me. Is I'm using this as an opportunity to get bread out of my diet. And in that process, I'm also going to be relieving myself of a lot of processed food and sugar, because I don't eat that much processed food to begin with, truthfully, but I do eat a lot of sugar. Because you know what? There's a thing that exists on this earth. It's called cheesecake. It makes me sweat just thinking about it. Oh, cheesecake. Oh, anyway. So, yeah, the bread. Get rid of the bread. That's the plan. And you may be thinking to yourself, Kit, why don't you use this as an opportunity to get rid of cheesecake? And I say to you, no. I like cheesecake. I want to keep eating cheesecake. I don't eat cheesecake for meals, but if I want to have a piece of cheesecake once a week, so be it. Now, let's do a whole show on my favorite cheesecakes. Do you want to know? I can run them down for you right now. That'd make for a great podcast, wouldn't it? So compelling and rich. Here's an idiot talking about his cheesecake favorites. Oh, my God. Day 3 of a fast. If you'd have told me a month ago that I would be smiling and laughing and in a good mood on day 3, I wouldn't have believed you. I would have said, I've done fasts before and never made me happy. But this is the first time I've really paid attention and seen the changes and seen the ebb and flow and the roller coaster that you go on. There's somebody on the fitbodyspace.com, I think, that's where it was, said to me, I said, I'm on day 3. They said, day 3? Wow, it went by so fast. Did it? Yeah, it might have for you. It didn't go by that fast for me. It didn't go by that fast for my wife. You want to talk about, I'm going to show you something right now, because I just noticed what is in here in my studio, and I'm going to show you something. I've been in this studio. I've recorded all these episodes. I've been in here working, doing stuff that I do in my studio all the time, playing my guitar, writing some stuff, doing all kinds of stuff. I'm in the studio a lot, and I just realized what's in here. And I haven't touched it in 3 days. Look what I have. I have Christmas candy. I got this off of Amazon like a week ago, and I opened it, see, and I put it in my office because I thought I'll just have a piece of Christmas candy once every 18 seconds. But it's been sitting here. That's how much of a stud I am. It has not tempted me once. I totally forgot it was there, even though I'm looking right at it. I've seen it the whole time, and I never once stuck my hand in it. Wow, I'm pretty proud of myself about that, actually. Because that's something that I could do. I could pop a piece of Christmas candy in my mouth, and I could suck on it. And my wife would never know that I'd broken my fast with delicious, old-fashioned Christmas candy. She'd never know. I could lie and say, I don't know what you're talking about. But I'm not a liar, and I wasn't even tempted. So I'm pretty proud of that. Now I want it, though. Nah, it's easy now. Once you get through day 3, my wife and I were literally downstairs a few minutes ago saying, well, maybe we should try 7 days. We could do 7. Once you get to day 3, it really feels like you can just do whatever you want. Like I could easily do a juice fast now. I could do a liquid diet now. Liquid diet, are you kidding me? It would be awesome if I could drink whatever I wanted. I'll tell you what I thought I was going to get used to was black coffee. But I can't. I just can't get used to it. You know what's a weird thing, though? Do you know where I will drink black coffee and it doesn't even occur to me that I'm drinking black coffee? Is when we go camping. I'll drink black coffee out in the woods, but I won't drink black coffee at my own house. What's up with that? That's a weird thing, don't you think? You guys want to talk about cheesecake some more, don't you? Day 3, we're plunging full speed ahead into day 4, and we'll have our final fasting episode. It won't be our final episode, but it'll be our final fasting episode tomorrow, and we will talk about all the things that are happening once you get past day 3. There's cleansing and weight loss. There's ketosis still. From this point on, you're always in ketosis, right? There's benefits to your cells, which we've discussed multiple times. We're going to talk about all that stuff tomorrow, about what happens after you get through 4 days. Maybe you want to do 7 days. You can do 15 days, and it's not bad for you. Talk to your doctor about fasting. Every single person, not every single person, many people, when you tell them that you're doing a fast, we talked yesterday about the responses you get. They always, isn't that bad for you? But you don't have to eat. Just get, as long as you're getting your water. Now, the one thing that we screwed up on this time around, this is an important tip that you need to know. One thing that we screwed up on this time around is our vitamins. Because we switched all of our vitamins about a year ago to only gummies. Because they're more stable in your system, they get into your bloodstream quicker, and there's not as many fillers, and it doesn't just sit in your gut. Did you know at one point, I think it was Las Vegas. I may be wrong on the city, but I think it was Las Vegas. They did a full clear out of their water treatment plant. And in the water treatment facility, where everything gets flushed down your toilet and ends up in this place, when they did the clean out, at the bottom of the tank was something like 4,000 tons, or I don't remember the number, of undigested vitamins. Think about all the filler that's in a hard vitamin that you swallow. So we switched everything to gummies because it gets in your bloodstream quicker, and it doesn't, you can digest it easier, and it doesn't do that. But the downfall to that is you can't really take gummies on a fast because they have sugar in them, which means they have calories in them. And the whole point of fasting is to not get calories. So that became a little bit of an issue. Next time around, we will make sure we have the proper vitamins. I did take some vitamin D, and I did take some vitamin B just to make sure I had something in my system. But as far as all the good vitamins and the multis and the glucosamine and all the other crap you got to take when you turn 40 years old and past, you have to do that stuff, and I'm so sour about it. Getting old sucks. That is going to do it for this episode of The Struggle. And as I said, in future episodes, we will have guests. We will talk. And by the way, if there's anything you would like us to explore, maybe there's a diet you've been thinking about trying. Maybe there is a program like we talked about Noom and Weight Watchers. Maybe you'd like to hear more about those from a perspective of somebody that's not trying to sell you something. Maybe you're curious about vegan. Maybe you're curious about keto. Maybe you're curious about paleo. I have a great paleo story. My wife and I decided to go paleo after I had some gut issues about 5 years ago. And I talked to somebody that said, you should do paleo for a couple months just to kind of clean some stuff out, help with your, I don't know, pancreas or something. I don't remember what it was. But anyway, so we said, okay, let's give it a shot. And paleo, you're supposed to only eat stuff that cavemen would eat. That's my phone going off. You're supposed to only eat stuff cavemen would eat. We got to a point, we did paleo really good for about 30 to 60 days. I think more like 60 days. But then towards the end, when we started making excuses, like we wanted maybe a beer, and we go, that's not paleo. And I would always say this, hey, if a caveman was walking around out in the forest and saw this on the ground, he'd drink it. That's how you know when you're done with paleo. If a caveman found a bag of Christmas candy, he'd 100% eat it. Therefore, it's paleo. That's going to do it for The Struggle. Please like, subscribe, do all the stuff down here at the bottom. Join us on fitbodyspace.com and listen wherever you get your podcasts: Apple, iHeart, Amazon Music, Spotify, Google Podcasts. Tune in. Ask your smart speaker to play The Struggle with Kit Mann. See you tomorrow. Peace.
This is The Struggle with Kit Mann.